Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, may not survive another 5 years. The emergence of Nnamdi Kanu in 2012, following the establishment of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and subsequent launch of the Biafran radio in UK, brought a different dynamics to Biafran struggle. Its youthful exuberance and relentless attack on the political leadership in Nigeria quickly endeared him to the hearts of thousands of Igbo youths who for years have felt ignored by their leaders. Nnamdi Kanu effectively stepped into the shoes left behind by the late Biafran war hero Odumegwu Ojukwu. In fact, some have even considered him a greater leader than the late iconic war hero because of his charm and ability to rally international support for Biafra. But his unprecedented fame and allure may not last another 5 years, mainly because of his inability to understand and conform to the essentials of situational leadership. Here are 4 reasons why IPOB leader may fade out in the coming years. Lost opportunities to reposition IPOB into a political platform. Before October 2015, when the Biafran leader was arrested by Nigeria's secret police, the Department of State Service, Kanu was just a regular guy with a placard. But as soon as he got his bail and was released, he became the true freedom fighter and a hero to many Igbos. His fame became global, and IPOB became a badge of honor for many Igbo and the youth. Kanu could no longer be ignored by the political leaders in Igbo land, many of whom immediately began to identify with him and sought his relationship. This became a golden opportunity for the Biafran leader to gradually reposition IPOB into a political instrument and gain legitimacy and acceptance beyond the southeast region. But Kanu's obvious lack of political skill and egotism truncated the process. Thus, he lost the chance to make IPOB a formidable political force in the interest of the Southeast. This might impinge the ability of the group to remain relevant beyond a few years. 2. Nigeria's constitution makes no provision for referendum. The main aim of Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB is the restoration of an independent state of Biafra for the people of old eastern region of Nigeria through a referendum. But what Kanu does not recognize is that this call is unconstitutional because the Nigerian constitution does not make provision for a referendum. In order for a referendum to become possible, there must first be a review of the constitution. In other words, the call by Nnamdi Kanu for a referendum is premature and an attempt to put the cart before the horse. So, instead of expanding their energy calling for an impossible and unconstitutional referendum, IPOB should rather focus on demanding for constitutional reforms that would guarantee a provision for referendum. Once that is achieved, then they can begin to push for a referendum. 3. Resort to propaganda. Perhaps the favorite tools of IPOB in its push to get a referendum is to discredit the Nigerian government through layer after layer of propaganda. In many occasions, IPOB has resorted to falsehood in a bid to embarrass the Nigerian state and its actors. For example, the famous narrative that President Muhammadu Buhari is dead and that the president occupier of Aso Rock is a clown has been relentlessly pushed by KANU and IPOB without any convincing evidence to prove it. Unfortunate, many Igbo's youth believe these lies. Also, recently, the group alleged that Chief of Staff to the President Abakari was dead after he contacted COVID-19 virus. That also is a lie. Again, in a bid to reinforce its lies after Buhari being dead, the group also claimed that the president's recent national broadcast was done from a hotel in Cuba and not in Aso Rock as claimed. Indeed, IPOB has been a babinga of lies and deceit in a bid to discredit Buhari, but what they have not realized is that for every lies and propaganda they push out there, they are losing credibility in the eyes of many Nigerians, and over time, even their most audience disciplines may begin to lose faith in the organizations. 4. If Nigerian restructures IPOB may become irrelevant. One of the major reasons why there is tension in Southeast in the feeling that the region is being pushed for starting the Biafran war through a deliberate marginalization policy. They point to the huge infrastructural deficit and cases of political victimization of proofs. This void is Nnamdi Kanu's justification for the establishment of IPOB and the agitation for referendum. But should the government begin to take restructuring more seriously and offer some autonomy to the regions, this might go a long way to quell the anger in the regions, including the Southeast. Restructuring is likely to bring some hope and belief back to the systems, and over time, as the nation continues to make progress, IPOB, others like it, will no longer find a willing army, and its impact will fizzles out with time. Wow. Why who says that IPOB will not get its republic? Who says that IPOB may not survive another 5 years? Who says that IPOB will not get its republic in 2022? Anybody that says this is a big liar. It's deceiving him or herself. And who says that what Nnamdi Kanu said about Buhari are all lies, and what Nnamdi Kanu said about Abakari are all lies? Who said so? The person is a fool. The person does not know what he or she is saying. Imagine that. Look at what is happening. Considering what is happening in Nigeria, are we still doubting Nnamdi Kanu? Are we still doubting his words with what he has told us concerning Buhari and Abakari? Look at what we're seeing now. With what we're seeing now, what we watch now, it's very obvious that Nnamdi Kanu is right. It's saying the real facts about Buhari and Abakari. So this person that said this, that because of all this, that Biafrans will not last for 5 years. Because of the propaganda, Biafra will not last for 5 years. He said because of the results of propaganda about Muhammadu Buhari and Abakari, that Biafra will not last more than 5 years. He also said that Nigerian constitution makes no provision for a referendum of IPOB. How possible is that? With what Nnamdi Kanu has done by struggling to get this Biafran freedom, Biafran republic. Will someone just come from nowhere and won't make this happen or won't make this work? No, the person has failed woefully. With time, I know very soon, IPOB and people of Biafrans will be smiling when they get their republic. Yes. So, we know and believe that IPOB no need to criticize anyone or criticize anybody that said all of this. All I know is that IPOB has come to stay, and IPOB will never die. Whosoever that wish IPOB backward will never succeed. Whosoever that does not want IPOB to get its republic will never succeed. Instead, the person will be alive to see IPOB succeed. IPOB, we don't want restructuring. Nnamdi KANU will be alive to see its achievements. IPOB does not want restructurings, but we want Biafran to be actualized. Nnamdi KANU will live to see his achievements in Biafran nature by the grace of God. That is it. So, I think that this person that wrote this doesn't know what he's saying. Biafra must come before then. Biafra must come to reality. Biafra must come to stay. The political rugged carpet only posts his previous pictures. The piece of pictures that Buhari posted for Buhari was a fake picture. The picture between Buhari and Zulu were fake. Men looking at it. If you're not a computer wizard or a computer literate, you will know that this picture is a Photoshop. So notwithstanding, that's all I have to say. Biafra will come to stay and has come to stay. So viewers, what is your take on this news that you just heard concerning this statement that Biafran or Nnamdi KANU IPOB will never last for 5 years? If you have any comments on this, please